What's the crack? Welcome back to Irish Impulse Podcast, episode 4. I'm your host, Michael.
What's the crack, guys? I'm Connor.
Oh, Connor, what's the crack?
Not much, buddy. What's the crack, you?
I'm going fucking mental here, mate. Absolutely fucking doolally.
Well, that fucking haircut you look like you are anyway.
It's not fucking wrong with my haircut, mate. I look like the Elvis Presley with brown hair.
You look like Elvis Presley. That fucking hair.
Alright, Connor, that's a politically incorrect comment, so...
Couldn't give a shit. What's the crack, buddy? What are you doing?
Oh, fuck all, mate. I'm just on the verge of going insane with excitement.
Insane with excitement?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Newcastle are this close. For anybody who can't say, I did a wee tiny symbol, right? This close to getting bought.
That's already worked?
No. So it has to go through is what is called the Premier League check. So like all these little fucking fancy boys come up and go, you're not going to bomb the country? No, grand. You're not going to fuck it up? No, grand. Right, you're not going to leave the fucking club in 5 minutes time? No, grand. So it's going through the Premier League checks. They have to do all that crap first.
Right, didn't know that, didn't know.
So we Saudi Arabian boy owns 80% of the company. Prince of Saudi Arabia.
How much do you pay for?
300 million. Well, it's between him, Amanda Stavely, and the Rubin brothers. So they own 10%. Amanda Stavely owns 10%, and he owns 80%. So he owns 90% of the stock.
300 million? I wouldn't pay 300 million for Newcastle.
I mean, I wouldn't pay 300 million for the club either, but I don't have 300 million.
But you've got it anyway.
I wouldn't.
Fair enough then.
Yeah.
It's at least maybe you have a chance to win something, get loud Saudi money.
Saudi money for life, brother.
10 years from now that'll come out, it's just a big money laundering scheme.
I wouldn't give a shit if I won something, then I'm happy enough.
Well, you were saying you might actually get the FA Cup by default.
Well, that's if the league isn't played, yeah. Well, that's if the FA do it, with the rule that if the team was scored the most goals in the competition, which would be us at 13 goals, then yes, we would win the FA Cup by default. But nobody knows.
That's
because now it came out that the FA want the league played before the end of August to protect managers and players and staff. So nobody knows what the fuck is going on in the football world. Not even me.
So I sent you that post from Facebook that started getting a bit of following with all the shares and likes on it. So I think we might have a bit of an argument about it because I think we both have disagreements on it. Do you want to read it out and then we can talk about it?
Yes. So it came from a girl called Lauren Eve, and I put it in quotation marks. This is exactly what she wrote on her Facebook post. Is no one else absolutely furious that they're being gaslit into believing the NHS is a charity that is funded by donations from working class people? That a 99-year-old man dragging himself up and down a patch of grass is being celebrated? It is nothing to celebrate. It is not a great example of the great British Blitz spirit. That's what the government and the press who prop them up want you to think, so you don't notice their catastrophic feelings. It is a strain on this government and the way the country is being run. It is utterly shameful. Why are we not more furious that a pregnant nurse died? A pregnant nurse died when she wouldn't have been at work in the first place, while sick note Johnson lords it up in his country manner. That care workers are being rewarded for their work with an honour for paying a fucking badge. We are being asked to do our bit and dig into our pockets to pay for a service that we already pay for. It is not a charity. We are being asked to pay the shortcomings of the government. It's not fucking comic relief. Maybe the nasty parties should ask their billionaire mates to dig deep, or even perhaps pay the taxes that they owe in the first place. They left always knew the last election was literally a matter of life or death, and we are seeing it in every day, and it's the worst to be proven right about. Those of you who voted this utterly disgraceful government into power should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves, ETA. Those of you arguing on my post that I shouldn't be making it political, everything is political. Existing in a political act when you're not a white, middle class, heterosexual or cisgendered man. I wasn't expecting so many people to see this post, so I'll add this for clarity. Vote the Tories out, fund the NHS and give a damn.
Okay, so that's obviously an absolute mouthful. So I went through it and broke it down into parts so we could at least have a discussion about the whole post, because
argument.
I think argument. So the first part was she was saying, is everyone not furious about being gaslit into believing that the NHS is a charity that is funded by donations? So my first thing is, no, I don't think anyone thinks that it's the charity being run by donations. We pay our taxes. You can't even allude to it, like towards the bottom, about it's not a charity. We all know it's not a charity. We've all pay our taxes. most 99% will pay our taxes, and
But
obviously
she
get
does make a
broken down
fair
into.
point that the billionaires are not.
Yeah,
The billionaires always
we can
put their
get
money
that
into
part.
it.
We can get that part.
Okay.
I understand that, but her saying that they're trying to get us to believe in that it's charity is just bullshit. No, I don't honestly think anyone is sitting at home going, "Fuck, when's the NHS turn into a charity?" Because I've never once thought that.
Yeah, neither have I. But the point just getting at is that people are now going out and like you made them. The NHS publicly waited and looked and seen millions and millions being made by an old war veteran walking around his garden.
Which is not to be celebrated, apparently, going by her.
Why should it be celebrated? You're watching a 99-year-old war vet. This man has literally went into fucking, well, I'm going to have a guess and say France or somewhere in Europe, killed a fuckload of Germans, came back and goes, you know what I'm going to do? And while I'm dying slowly and I'm 99, fuck it, I'll walk my garden to fund what is already funded by our taxes, the NHS.
Right, okay. So, you, like her, don't bother doing research.
But, no,
Because this is the problem. 99-year-old Tom Moore, he'd raised, I think the last time I seen it, he was over 20 million at that point by doing 100 naps of his garden. And his whole thing was he had raised the money for the NHS. Now, it's not the NHS itself, it's another part of the NHS which I can get into. But if anyone listened to his story, the reason why he done that was for the nurses and for the carers and for all that, because he had went in with cancer, fought cancer, beat that. It wasn't to do with because he felt like the government weren't standing up or anything like that. He wanted to do it on the back of the service that they had give him when he was ill. So I'm actually trying to just find it here. He had put in, or it was put up after all. So the donations that he had done was for a charity called the NHS Charities Together, which is dismantled into smaller charities throughout the NHS, which doesn't go to the main funding of the NHS. It goes for the carers, it goes for the back office staff, it goes for the nurses and everything. It could be, I'd seen, like, it could be for
that's
wellness
fine.
spaces, it could be for wellness packs, it could be for anything and everything. It wasn't just like, oh, it's going to the NHS. It's to support the nurses at a local level, not the whole corporation as a whole. So I think her saying it shouldn't be celebrated, that a 99-year-old man done his part and willingly wanted to do his part for his country, shouldn't be celebrated, is a fucking disgrace in her point. The fact that she's saying not to be celebrated. Don't see her getting up and doing anything about it. Yeah, because her taxes pay for it and all that stuff. That's absolutely fine. But she can go fuck herself saying that a 99-year-old man, out of his way, doing what's right for everyone in this country, we should all be doing it. She can fuck right off and say it shouldn't be celebrated. That should be celebrated.
But why do you feel the need to celebrate a 99-year-old man? Like, this man has already been celebrated when he came home from, again, Europe or wherever he was. His life should have been celebrated alone for that, and then he obviously went out this back, and I didn't know obviously he had cancer, so that's credit due. But why feel the need to now jump on the back of the 99-year-old man when we're already paying for it? You don't see the government coming out and do anything for it. Like, they couldn't even get a fucking delivery from Turkey even the last time I checked. That had about, I think it was 34 tons of equipment, like 400,000 gowns is fucking daily essential. And you're saying this man's like, the government should be doing this shit, not a 99-year-old man. Credit to Tom Moore, can't dispute the fact. The man's probably got a dislocated hip when he's fucking dragging himself through the dirt. But this should not be coming from him, this should be coming from the taxpayer, us, and fucking Boris Johnson. This should be coming from this fucking...
I get it should be coming from us, and for the most part it is coming from us. But for her to sit and say it shouldn't be celebrated, why? At the end of the day, the man done it. People pumped millions into it because of the story that he has and the life he's had up to this point. They were celebrating him and all the efforts he's done. So more money is always good, especially when it's getting trickled down to a lower level or a local level for all staff. Like, I even seen there was part where they were setting up these things are called wobble rooms. So if a nurse or something like that unfortunately lose a patient or something like that, they can go to these rooms and just be on their own, relax, chill out for a while, and then go on. stuff like that wouldn't be happening through our standard tax. That money wouldn't get filtered down to stuff like that. So the fact that he's done that and the country's got behind him, fair play. But anyway, she had said then after that about it shouldn't be celebrated and that the media want you to see stuff like this so we don't notice the government failings. I don't think anyone can honestly say that we haven't noticed the government failings. It's been talked about through the media, through everything. Everyone's talking about it, about how fucked we think it was that it was left at least 3 weeks late for a full lockdown. It was one of the first things spoke about, that why is it being delayed, why is it this? Look at all the other countries doing it. Like, look at Germany. Germany are doing fucking well because they went straight into lockdown, tests and everything, and they've turned out pretty well so far. So her saying, oh, it's not being talked about and it's the media propping the government up so we don't notice this stuff, again, wrong, because it's a conversation that everyone's had at least once over the last month. Like, how many times have we spoke about how late we think they were?
Oh fuck yeah, I agree with that statement at all. It's Boris was at least 3 weeks to a month late.
Yeah.
Like a second China went into lockdown, I think the world should have went into lockdown, but again,
yeah,
the
I
British
agree.
government are very stubborn. They think that we're the best, and why politically I want to get rid of them, but anyway, they think they're the best, and they're very stubborn, and Boris is probably thinking, it'll never come here. Next thing you know, look at us now.
Yeah, and that is a direct reflection of because we were late.
Yep.
Everyone knows this. It's not been hidden. I don't know what news outlet she listens to, or is she just purely going off Facebook or what? I don't know. But the conversation has been on everyone's lips over the last month. So again, wrong on that. The next one then she went on, which I think is a bit just trying to take a dig where there isn't a dig to be had, was when she brought up that NHS nurse who died while she was pregnant. So you probably don't know this, but again, I do my research because I just read her whole thing and went, this doesn't make sense, half this stuff, and I just thought she was scaremongering at this point. So the nurse she's talking about is a 28-year-old called Mary Agapong, who, yes, was pregnant. Unfortunately, she did pass away after having an emergency C-section. The baby is healthy, and they don't believe that the child does have COVID-19, which is good. But the chain of events was the girl, Mary, the nurse, tested positive on April 5th for coronavirus. Was admitted into the hospital. She actually worked out on April 7th, had the C-section, and then unfortunately she passed away 5 days later. The part that the girl doesn't mention in this whole post is the fact that she actually stopped working from March 12th. So it was nearly a full month beforehand she had stopped working at hospital, because then she had took her maternity leave. And at that point in the hospital they were at was in Luton. Hadn't had a single case of coronavirus in it, so she hadn't been in contact through the hospital setting with anyone with coronavirus. So that would lead you to believe she's got it at home, or not at home, but like through her daily life, being out shopping or something like that, like as you would try to get your essentials, things like that. So unfortunately it sounds like that's where she's picked it up from. So the fact that this girl Lauren has then went, oh, this is the government fault that this lady's died because she was in working when she shouldn't have been, incorrect. She wasn't. She was actually off for a month previous to that. So again, more scaremongering. And the problem is, like, people who read this will go, oh fuck this, like look at our government, like they're killing people, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing the other. Not their fault in this one. Yes, government have their failings, but this isn't on them for that one. That girl, yes, worked till late into her pregnancy. Most women do. Like when my child was born, my partner at the time worked 2 weeks up to before she gave birth. When you have to work, you have to work.
It pays the bills.
Exactly, it pays the bills. And it's just, again, more scaremongering from whoever this girl is. And people are going to read that and then just take a totally biased view. And especially when it gets so much exposure like that, I just think it's absolutely crazy. The one thing off the back of it is that there's a GoFundMe for that nurse, for her husband and now the child. The last time I seen, they raised 181,000 that was yesterday, the day before seeing that, so hopefully it's actually more, which is good. Like, that's good setting for the husband, for everything going on.
Condolences as well.
Yeah, like it's obviously incredibly sad, and what angers me is the fact that girls used that story as ammunition against the government when it shouldn't have been.
I take the
It shouldn't, should not have been anywhere near that story. Which then makes me kind of laugh in the next one, because she says Sick Note Johnson, after getting out of the hospital, is now living in a manor. The manor she's talking about is Chequers, which is about 40 mile away from London, which has housed every single Prime Minister from 1921. There was a bill went in 1917 that said a Prime Minister should take time away at least 2 to 3 days out of the week in this manor 40 mile away called Chequers. So he's definitely not the first, and he'll definitely not be the last.
Yeah.
I can put money on Boris has been at this mansion, manor, whatever you want to call it, several times already since before all this kicked off, because it's kind of built into their job that they have to take time away.
Like the White House.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like home away from home sort of thing. They have to take it so they're not in Downing Street constantly. So when Boris Johnson had got he self-isolated in 11 Downing Street, then he went into the hospital, got taken care of, and then was released to that manor she's talking about, Chequers. But again, the way she puts it is he's out living his best life sort of thing while he's recovering from everything going on. Yes, now to be fair, the manor has a heated pool, it's got 40 acres, it's got that there. Most people come out of hospital aren't returning to that setting. 100%, I get that there.
That's what happens when you're in power, you always get the...
Yeah, but when you're painting a picture, it's not like it's his house, he doesn't own it. It's an appointed building that every PM since 1921 has stayed at. They've had political leaders, I think Putin and everything, like anyone come over. Yeah, exactly. So again, her saying, oh, he's living his life up there, no, bullshit again, paints another shit picture of her whole story, and it's just when you start poking holes in it, just like she's scaremongering again for nothing, and painting everyone to be out in a bad light again for nothing, and it just sickens me when people would see that and then
jump on the bandwagon
with it, yeah. And the annoying part is there's one part in that whole thing that I actually agree with her on, which was about the care workers, their reward as such is that badge. Have you seen the badge?
I've never seen it.
So it's literally this small badge that has the word care on it, it's in green. It's the shittest badge you'll ever see in your life.
It probably cost the government a 2p to make.
I'd read different reports. I'd seen one. A care assistant was asked, "Are you going to buy the badge?" And they said, "No, it's £8.99, and my wage is £8.75." Then I'd seen somewhere else about the badge being £1.20, and I was like, there was conflicting things on it. But if the badge was £8.99,
it's extortion. It's
extortionate. I don't think a badge is fucking needed. Again, what's really needed is PPE. Like you were saying,
34 ton of gear.
They've had that ton
delivery.
That's now been missed. They're hoping to get it here today, but
still haven't heard actually.
Whether they can, I think it's still delayed from the last time I heard.
Like, where is it? Like, it has to be over.
No, it had never left Turkey yet. It hasn't left Turkey. It was delayed. So I'll agree with that part. The last thing they need is a fucking badge. Give them a pay rise. Give them something. Like I worked as a care assistant for between two different places for about a total of 3.5 years. Now, me personally, I was paid pretty decently. I couldn't really complain, but I know there was a lot of people who weren't, who were getting paid a lot less. And my argument's always been for people who do that job, because it is a hard job. People just take things for granted. You've no idea what goes in the background of a care home or care in the community, all that stuff. There's a lot of effort put in, and I think anyone who's sitting in a care setting working should be on at least 10 quid an hour, at least, as a true reflection of the effort of the work. Like 125 doesn't really sound like much of a jump, but when you add that over all the hours to do and everything, it really does help.
God,
it really helps. And the one thing I wish they would do is every year you have to pay your registration fees to keep up your registration within your government body of that I'm a care assistant or I'm a nurse or I'm this, that and the other. I wish they were waived, especially now with everything going on.
Definitely.
It's just like small gestures make the big difference, shows that they actually
care.
care about them, they're actually valued, they're actually this, that and the other. Because I know everyone's doing it with the whole clapping and all, and yes, great show of solidarity, but it doesn't do much. That badge does zero. Does absolutely zero for anyone. They haven't talked about where the money of that's actually even going in the first place. I would assume.
Where's it coming from?
Well, yeah, it's the money of it's obviously coming from the people who buy it, which is like us, for example. But they haven't even said, well, here's what the money that's raised from it's actually going to do. They haven't said it's going into PPE, it's going into respirators, it's going into whatever. They haven't even said, but I just kind of thought, probably should have started with that. You probably should have led with that. Here's the reason.
For all the NHS workers.
Yeah, massive party when the bars reopen.
The
bar tabs on the government.
All the put all London on lockdown for all the NHS workers and give them on a pint session.
So that's the thing. Like I agree with her on that. Like the badge means fuck all. And then the last thing that she said, I had a great honour with too, which was have his billionaire mates. I doubt they're his fucking mates, but I understand what she's saying.
Exactly.
She's on about companies within the UK that operate in the UK that aren't paying their tax. Absolutely, I agree with that. Will that ever be fixed? No. That's always going to happen. It's just a part of fucking business. It's always going to happen. Is it going to be fixed after this? Absolutely not.
Never.
It'll never be fixed.
Never be fixed.
And
can't afford to fix it.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. Like it's one of those things in life we just have to deal with. Yeah. There is companies that are always going to get away with it, while the rest of us, like mugs, pay our taxes and things like that. But it's just one of those things we do. It's one of those things that happen. But we all know at the end of the day, we all play our part. Like I've paid my taxes, you paid your taxes, so in some form of way, we're helping out. I've donated to that Tom Mirror one. I haven't really donated to anything else that I can think of yet. I suppose like how many things can you donate to?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's just there's a lot of things she said in it which I was like, are you fucking stupid? Which like this didn't take long to research. I looked at her whole thing. And I went through it bit by bit like we just did, and it took me maybe 30 minutes to research. And that's all. Like she has a fair point with the last two parts, but don't fill it out. Don't fill out this massive status to the oh look at me sort of shit with all this other bullshit. Like the amount of people would have shared that, all that stuff. Yeah, which is alright. If you want attention, fine. Everyone wants attention. Fuck, we're doing this podcast for attention at the end of the day. But yeah, it's like bringing up the nurse, saying that we're not noticing feelings, not celebrating the fucking 99-year-old who done amazing feat. I would love to see anyone be bothered to get out of their bed in the morning and go do 99 laps of their own garden. Wouldn't be the hardest thing for them to do. Don't fucking see them doing it though, do you? Welcome back to the episode. So we're going to try and finish on a bit of a light tone after that bit of an argument. So
we had to go off there and give each other a hiding.
Yeah, had to batter each other for a minute there. Just looking at him going, this man's dumber than I thought he was. What we'll do is we're going to do 5 questions against each other. Well, what we'll do is we'll do the same questions, and then the person that gets the most right is free, and the person that gets the most wrong has to neck a pint. How about that?
I haven't necked a pint since my teens. It's going to be a shit show.
I haven't necked a pint since last night, so we're alright. What we'll do is the loser has to take a video of them necking their pint, and then we'll post it on Instagram and Facebook, and obviously you can join along, and if you somehow get the same score as the loser or less, you can also neck a pint and then fire it in the comments.
Use the hashtag Irish stupidity.
Use the hashtag Bodie's losing this.
I can second that.
Right, so I don't even.
How do you get the questions?
We're asking both. I'm asking it for both of us. I can't see the answers. Look, can I see the answers?
Well, then we're going to have to pick a question.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine because it'll tell us. Jesus Christ, you're going to lose anyway. What are you worried about?
Because this seems like there's a slight bit of favoritism here.
Because I'm holding the phone. Yeah. There's favoritism here. Yeah,
you can see the answers.
Yeah, I'm Quizmaster 2020. Sure. Right. Which civil rights activist was famous for refusing to give up her seat on a bus? Dorothy Day, Rosa Parks, Jane Fonda, or Emma Willard?
The fuck are these?
I know the answer to this, so I'm winning the first
fucking
one.
Dick.
Who do you think it is?
Oh, fucking, I like it, but a Dorothy. Get
Right.
Dorothy.
Well, it
involved.
was Rosa Parks.
Yeah, great phone.
Oh, yes, it was Rosa Parks.
How do you know that?
Because
What did it say? Oh, right. Well, in my defense, it did refresh and then it just shut itself.
Yeah, so it was
well,
Rosa
that's one
Parks.
now.
So it's fine. Scroll to the next question.
Oh,
Which of these letters is not a vowel? I-O-W-A.
W.
W. Which was the original king of rock and roll? Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, Elvis Presley, or Steven Tyler? Rock and roll king. Again, I know the answer.
Well, it wasn't MJ, because MJ was the king of pop. Elvis wasn't the king of rock and roll, was he? Who the fuck's the... I'm going to go for Mick Jagger.
You're asking who Steve Tyler is?
Yeah. Don't worry, it's no rock.
Are you taking the piss? You know who Steve Tyler is?
Who's Steve?
Don't want to miss a thing.
What's that?
Even when I dream of you. I'm not singing it.
Copyright, can't sing it.
Yeah.
You can sing it, but you can't.
I know, I just can't sing. You don't. He was in 2.5 Men. Oh, right. Anyway, who are you going for? Sorry, Mick Jagger. It's Elvis Presley.
Elvis is the king of rock and roll, though.
Yeah, he was right. He's technically rock and roll. So that's what 3-1. Great.
This is favourite. You definitely looked at this quiz.
You can't actually win it. Agent 007.
No, you've looked at this quiz. It's the first to five, not a best.
Oh, first to five. Sorry, right. Okay, first to five.
Fucking horse shit.
Agent 007 featured how many movies dating back to 1962 is known as what Bond?
If you know this, we're starting the quiz because you've definitely seen the answer.
Are you taking the piss? You don't know this answer. Agent 007 featured in many movies dating back to 1962.
Yeah, James Bond.
Well done. I was actually going as if you didn't know that. Yeah, correct. James Bond. So I need one more. So this could be it. What flightless bird went extinct in the 1660s? Has a reputation for stupidity. The dodo duck, or the dodo bird, the laughing owl, the passenger pigeon, or the Labrador duck?
I know the answer.
Right, what is it?
Dodo.
Yeah.
But how does this work? Because you didn't give me your answer.
You know,
so it's me saying everything. So I
right.
know.
Well, do you want to take a lose on that?
No, because this. There should be like me quizzing you for my questions and you quizzing me.
I wouldn't trust you though.
What do you mean?
This way,
no,
at least
I don't trust it.
Which plant is traditionally the primary?
Shut
the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
No,
you're losing this.
No, I don't agree with
I've one more.
There's a bad format.
Right, one more.
Me asking you
That's
questions
fine.
and then you asking me questions.
Do you want to down a pint with you then?
No, it's
well,
not
then,
moral of the story.
Right,
it's
anyway.
an unfair battle.
What plant is traditionally the primary ingredient
grapes.
in... There we go. Well done. So, do you think I don't know that either? Grape. Right. The human brain... I'll answer it first then. The human brain communicates with the rest of the body through the networks of what? Tendons, nerves, muscles, lipids. I'll say nerves.
Yeah, nerves.
I win then. Thank you. So
you're
necking a pint
No.
then? I just got it right, so you're necking a pint.
I don't agree with this format.
I don't agree with your life, but
I
there we are.
best of the three with a different format.
You can fuck it right off next time. We'll do it next time.
No, best of three with a different format.
Next time we'll do a different format.
Nope.
I'll be the loser has to neck 2 pints.
Nope, politically,
You're necking the pint.
This is democracy. This government is made of democracy. I want to know
what government are you
This government is made of this government in this car. So, nope. Best two out of three with a different format in the second layer.
No, you lose.
Nope.
You lose.
Nope. I disagree.
So you're not going to neck the pint?
Nope.
You're going to be a bitch. You're letting everyone out there
democracy.
know. You're letting everyone out there know you're a bitch.
Democracy.
You're letting everyone
democracy.
out there know. So you're going to be a bitch.
I want to vote.
Yeah, the vote is you're necking a pint.
Nope. I
right.
disagree. So
okay, hold on.
So there we go.
So we'll vote. So we'll vote. Bodie has to neck a pint. I say aye. You say nay.
I say leave it to the Instagram followers.
Fuck that, you're necking the pint and that's it.
Instagram followers. They don't know they'll Brexit.
Right, well I'm going to go before I fucking strangle him. He's necking the pint. It'll be on Facebook and Instagram later.
They don't know they'll Brexit.
Brexit's over with. We're on the coronavirus. Jesus Christ, where have you been? Fuck, 2019. Fuck. All right, Noel Evans, calm down.
All right.
You can catch us on YouTube at the Irish Impulse Podcast, Spotify Irish Impulse Podcast, and Google Podcasts also Irish Impulse Podcast, and the same for Facebook and Instagram. You can catch us there at Irish Impulse Podcast. You can follow us, like, share. You can watch this boy neck a pint later on. It will be there.
Will not be
I
there.
promise you it'll be there, because after
Vote.
this is recording,
It's a vote.
I'm personally going
It's
to
a
buy
vote.
the drink, and he's going to get
I
it.
have drink at the house.
Do you want to say bye-bye to everyone and
I
stop being a
want a
bitch?
pint. I don't want. I want a vote.
It's not happening. I'm
want
going to
a vote.
buy the pint for you.
What do you mean?
You're
Going
going
to
to say
Why
bye-bye?
am I buying a pint? No, I have an act.
I don't care.
I'll be blocked. No, I want a vote.
Say bye-bye to the people.
I want a vote.
Right, we'll do a vote. Say bye-bye to the people.
What are we going to do the vote?
Instagram. Say bye.
Oh, bye, Delilah.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.